Contributor Tracy Wu joins us from the campus of Full Sail University in Orlando. Tracy?
Hi Lance. Full Sail University touts real-world experience with many degrees focused on the entertainment industry. One graduate and entrepreneur was recently selected for the school's Hall of Fame. Martin Potosny is a lighting designer, creative director, and event producer. He's toured with Madonna, Roger Waters, and Rihanna, and produced lighting for Microsoft, Disney, and Sony. Plenty of success that propelled him to starting his own creative studio.
Initially, I wanted to tour with bands. I wanted to go around the world and put stage shows together. And when you're a 20-year-old from the country, you grew up basically in farms in a town without a traffic light, how do you end up on tour? How do you do that? How do you find the people that can connect you? How do you find even some common something to even get a foot in the door? And I truly didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I knew that I was gonna do it. So I was trying to figure out where I can go, and I came across Full Sail. And the second I walked through the doors, I knew that's where I had to go. I really feel like that was where, for the first time in my life, when I was at Full Sail, I really truly experienced how hard that I'm gonna have to work to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. So I just graduated school and started to send my portfolio out to really pretty much every single event, production, and lighting production company on the East Coast. I picked the top firms and the top production companies and really thoughtfully crafted either a presentation or some sort of package that I would send them. Every single one of them called me. And I said, I have to go meet with these people. So I packed up my car and I literally left my parents' house and I said, here I go. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna end up, if I'm gonna be, what city, what company, but I'm gonna end up at one of these companies. My last interview was in Boston. I walked in and I knew that was where I was gonna work. 2 weeks later, I'm designing the 150th anniversary for MIT. It was an incredible experience, but it wasn't what I wanted to be doing. I wanted to be on the road and I wanted to experience touring. I wanted to feel what it felt like to be a part of putting together a show for a massive audience. And I came across someone and we hit it off and he said, someday you're gonna come work for me. And I said, okay, dude, I have this great job in Boston. I'm a lighting designer. I'm doing all these great projects, but we stayed in touch. And 6 months later, I get a phone call and he says, hey, I have an opportunity and I need someone to lead this project. I need someone to take this custom produced special effect for this world-renowned artist on the road and make this happen. And I said, it's a yes. And 2 weeks later, I'm in Mexico City with Roger Waters' Dark Side of the Moon tour as the special effects designer for the custom Dark Side of the Moon sculpture. And I'm like, this is my job. I am on the design team of the Dark Side of the Moon World Tour. And then I had the opportunity to go from Roger Waters to Madonna to work with various other masterminds of production, creativity, and music and art. And you just, again, I go back to thinking about this kid that grew up in the woods, who's me, and I'm sitting with Madonna on the steps of the stage in New York City, preparing to take her show for a 2-year world tour. It's not luck. It literally just comes down to you have to decide what you want, you have to go get it. And I think that's the difference of Lux Creative. We're attracting people with that sort of work ethic and that passion for the projects. And I think that's who we are. And I love it. That's what I live for.
Martin is living his dream just like many of his fellow Full Sail grads. One more example, just with the recent Academy Awards, 150 graduates were credited in 37 projects nominated for the coveted statue. A similar story for the Grammys. If you want to learn more about the university, go to fullsail.edu for more info.